Hello again, my name is Jeff and thank you for joining me in my latest restoration from die-cast powder coating. Today we'll be restoring a Corgi Moist Mini Miner number 226. These models were produced between 1960 and 1968. This is the famous Mini by the designer Sir Alex Izagonis. And this model's just a bit bashed. It's all very solid condition, but let's have our first look at it. As you can see, it's just mainly paint has been scratched about a lot. There's a crack in the rear window and the front, so I've actually got some new glass which I ordered a long time ago just to make sure it was here in time. Just one tire missing, but generally pretty good condition. So off we go. The rivet has a very small dimple in it, so I'm just going to use the hole punch now just to make that a little bit bigger. And we can now get on with the drill. I'm just using the 2.5mm drill here, and it was just enough to take out the flanges of the rivet as well. And then once that's done, we can now remove the base. Pretty dirty inside. There's a little bit of old rope in there, probably from the 60s, been played on the carpet. And the interior, well, it's very dirty, so that'll have a wash later on. And then the glass just falls out. Now this is my little way, I think I've shown you before, of how I get the wheels off. Just use a cigarette lighter just to not overdo it, but gently heat up the wheel slightly. Just to expand the metal of the wheel. And then eventually, using a screwdriver, we can just gently prise that off. Now with the wheels off, there's the whole all the bits and pieces together. The tyres did crack, the three that were left, very brittle, and just using my last little bit of paint remover. I do hate doing this, it's very messy. If the weather was a little bit better outside, I would have probably taken the media blaster outside, but it was raining out there, so back to this messy job of using the paint stripper. I haven't tried the caustic soda idea yet, so I probably will give that a go at some stage, but this is what I use at the moment. And eventually, after a good rinse, going over with the wire brush, I'll just finish off now using the spinning Scotch pad just to give it a little bit of a shine. And then into the oven now for about 10 minutes, and as always just burns out the impurities that are in the metalwork. And then whilst that's cooking, I'll come over the axles with the spinning wire brush just to clean those up a little bit. There's a little bit of surface rust on them. And then while we're at it, we can put the axle that remains with the wheel on into the drill, and just using some water salt, just giving the wheels a nice polish. Well, back from the oven now, and now going over with the usual acetone. And then we're ready for the powder coating. Now, I was going to go for duck egg blue, which was roughly the original colour, but growing up in the late 60s, early 70s, I seem to remember the minis being mainly in this green colour, so this is the closest I could think of. So I've decided to do it green. It's a mid-green with electrostatic magic. I never actually had a chance to drive a Mini ever. The closest I got was a Mini Metro in the 80s. A friend of mine did have a Mini, but I never drove that one. She was a bit older than me. And I'm just going to do the base the same colour. I would have done this duck egg blue as well, so that the main body and the base will be green. And back to the oven again for 10 minutes at 180 degrees. And here we are, back from the oven now, and I'm very pleased. I think they've come out very nice. The grill there, before I actually put it in the oven, I dusted it off with a paintbrush. That keeps the detail in the grill, which is quite important on the Mini. So it's come out very nice, the base and the main casting. Now I'm just using the brush now. This is the chrome pen, the Molotow chrome pen, and I'm not going over the top of it. I'm just gently pushing it into the gaps of the grill. And then after I did this, I've done the headlights and put a little bit of chrome where the indicators go, and the red lights to do a little bit later on. This will be the end of the day now, to leave it overnight. Well, next day now, and banging the wheel back on using a rubber mallet. I didn't want to damage the wheels. As you can see, the chrome now on the indicators and the rear lights. I'll do that once the model's back together. So here's a new set of wheels. Last time I nicked them off the Hillman Imp, but I've replaced the Hillman Imp tyres and bought another set of 4 for this one. And these are the treaded tyres. Okay, we can get ready for the new glass now. Lucky enough that fits nicely. And there's the washed seating area for inside. I can go back inside. And then finally the base. So the holes are pre-drilled for the rivets I've done earlier on. So here we go with the false fate rivets. I have cut the rivets down just a little bit, so they do fit in alright. I have test fitted it, and lucky enough on this occasion it didn't seem to be too many problems. It did fit in quite nicely. And then just using the back of a pair of pliers, long nose pliers, just pushing it back in. And just finished off now with the rear. So as you can see, I've done the indicators using the translucent orange paint. So now just using a little bit of the red translucent paint just to put in the rest of the back light. Also put on another couple of number plates. Unfortunately, they weren't in pairs, so you will see the number plates as close as I can get it, but they're different numbers. I have to get some more of a better make. But that's it, she's finished. So let's have a little look of what she used to look like. As I mentioned, pretty solid condition, although the paint is well scratched, been well played with, as it should have been. So one tire missing, and the other three just crumbled off as I took them. They just broke, so they were replaced, and a couple of cracks in the windscreen and the rear window. Okay, so let's have a little look at what she looks like now. Well, it's got the new number plates. I've done a little Morris sign on the bonnet. The grills come out quite nice. Brand new tyres again now. The door handles. Some of the chrome on the boot with the translucent paint. Well, I hope you did enjoy this little video of the famous Mini. Please take care out there. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers, both old and new. Goodbye for now. Thank you.